What's up, everybody? Today I wanted to show you guys how to use reference in your work. All right, so there's a few different ways that you can use reference images to help you create what you're trying to create. Um, there's the see-through method, and then there is the image plane method. And we're going to go over both of them, and hopefully you guys can start to use this to create more images that have like likeness. If you want to do likeness images, or if the company you're working for, whoever you're working for, is saying, "Hey, I need you to nail this exact image," this is how you would go about achieving that inside of ZBrush. Right. So right now we've got our Polymesh 3D, our Sphere 3D, kind of in place right now. So the first method that you can use is not in your render. Let's see, it is in where is it at the top somewhere here? Texture. Right in texture, there's image plane, and right now the image size is set to 100, which is fine. But then let's go here. You're going to want to load the texture, and what you're going to want to keep in mind is that when you load your texture, let me make this bigger. So you're going to want to go into your texture tab at the top, load texture. The texture is going to load into here. So I'm going to load texture, and I'm going to navigate to where my my reference is. Wherever it is on the desktop, I'm going to navigate to it. These are some images that I've generated using Adobe Firefly. It's an AI generation tool. If you have your own reference, use that instead. But this is what I'm going to use. So let me grab the image that I want to use. I'm going to hit open, and it's going to load that image in here. What you're going to run into though sometimes is if you have your texture, it might be too big, right? It might like pass the borders. What you're going to just want to do is you're going to want to reduce that image size and then reload the image. You're going to have it selected like this in texture, and then you're going to load the image. So let me show you what that looks like. So let me go to 110. And then I have my image selected here because I've already loaded it in. And then if I do load again, texture, whoops. Whoops, it did it at 100. Let's do maybe 80. So you can see that it shrunk it a little bit at 80. All right, I'm gonna go take it back to 100 where I know it's gonna be 100. Load it at 100. So now I've got this at 100. All right. So another thing that you want to keep in mind is whenever you're using reference images like this, it also has these reference views. So right now we're in my front view. I made sure I was in my front view. If you look at this guy, it lets you know you're in your front view. But if you, once I'm in my front view, let me hit X. If I hit Alt, oops, I can move I'm going to hit Alt, and I'm going to move my sphere here. All right. To move my sphere in place. And what I can then do is in my texture here, I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to store this view. So now this view is stored as my front view, right? If I had another reference image, so like let me say if I had one on the left or the right, so I'm going to click the right view. Now you can see there's no image in this view. All right. So there's no image in this view, and I want to load another image into this view so I can, if I have like a turnaround or something that I'm sculpting from, that's where I would then go into here, and then I would load image. And then if I had like a left view or something like that, I would then bring that image in. All right, and then I would go through that same process if I had a front, back, left, right, and then I would store this view. So now if I go to my front view, I've got my front, right? And then if I go to my right view, I've got my right view. All right. So here is, so those are the methods right there. Right, and then I can even change the model's opacity here. All right, so I can see through what's going on. So I'm gonna hit clear on that so I can show you guys the other method for using reference. Let's go back to my texture. I'm gonna go to my front view, texture, and then I'm going to clear it out. All right. So now, if I want to use my, let's go back to the texture. I believe this is still a little transparent. Let's make my opacity all the way up to 100 again. So this is another way that if I have reference, right? Like if I have reference on my screen, if I have it on a video or something, because sometimes what you'll realize is like if you're matching video, they'll have like different angles and things like that that you can pause on and change the angle to match your reference. What you can do is in ZBrush, if you go to this top right here, right? Hopefully you guys can see this. There's a see-through window transparency that you can use. So if I start to do that, you'll see that there's transparency on my window. But if I then scroll over to this top area, then you'll see that it goes back to fully opaque. All right. So these are the main two ways that you can start to mess with reference, right? And if I want to go back to 100%, I go do that, and then I can go back to my ZBrush. All right. That's it. All right, guys. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate you guys once again. Try out these techniques. Let me know which one works better for you. All right.